And now it's time once again for another episode of Wipe Those Tears. And here is your host, the star of Wipe Those Tears, Jason DeCanio. Hey, thank you very much. All right. Thank you. Good Guardian today. Oh, yes. All righty. We welcome you to another edition of Wipe Those Tears. It's episode number 27 on this March 27th, 2024. And this is the final episode before we go on Easter break. You won't see us next week because of Easter week, because Easter Sunday is this Sunday coming up on the 31st. So I'm going to give the Tier Masters a week off so they can have time to spend with their family and their friends and, you know, chill out and enjoy the springtime holiday week. But so they got some busy work ahead of them today, and we're going to go ahead and introduce the Tier Masters now. We're waiting on one of them. He's running a little late, so I hope he will join us. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and meet the rest of the gang here, starting with the man from Canada, who, of course, is a Mario freak in every which way, shape, or form. And I tell you, he loves it. He is a great guy indeed, and a great Tier Master himself. Here's Mark Leota. Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Come in, Maestro. What's up?
I'm doing good.
All right. And how are you this fine week before Easter Sunday?
I'm doing good.
All right. You are, of course, enjoying your new game, I would guess, right? Did your game show up yet?
For Princess Peach Showtime? Yes, I'm enjoying it very much.
All right.
Mario's not did it. Mamma mia.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's not good.
Well, then again, to be fair, Peach is the starring role for that game, so.
Right. I didn't know she had a name.
Yeah, she does.
Princess Peach and Toadstool is still in there, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Toad, or is it Toad or Toadstool?
It's Toadstool.
Toadstool. I thought so. Because sometimes he goes by Toad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. All right. Well, man, are you ready to play tonight and finish up the K's and go into the L's?
I am ready.
All right. We're good to go on this. And now the man who, oh my God, he shaved. He shaved. He looks like a kid. He don't look like the man of the hour of today at all. Here is Brandon Bogart. Yo, I went outside once. The graphics weren't that great.
Love it.
Wow, look at you, man. You took 10 years off your body. Holy cow. You look like a young kid, man. It just came out of 8th grade. You're too young to be on this show. You look good, man. No, you look good. What made you decide to shave it? Turn on your mic. There you go.
Okay, as for this,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know that I was asking. So, what made you shave off the beard and the facial hair? What made you decide to go?
Well, yeah, about that. I'll take the teasing anytime.
No, we're all it's all for fun there, bro. You're
Basically, it was getting a little messy, and unfortunately, there's still some growing right there, so it's still probably just a bit messy. I gotta
Yeah, see, same thing with this under here. Yeah, it gets a little itchy under here too for me. I gotta shave. I'm shaving for Easter Vigil, so I do what I call my Holy Week beard, my Jesus beard. You know.
Well, I wouldn't say itchy. It was just it was all around. It was kind of getting my lip, and
yeah, definitely. But you're looking good, ready to go.
Oh yeah.
All right, K's into the L's. Up to him. Well, I feel like I'm at Shea Stadium when I hear that, or the Mets, you know?
Opening day tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah, but we're rained out. They're pushing the Mets game to Friday. Oh, and don't forget, folks, the second season of Wipe Those Tears with myself and Eric Lima, who is, by the way, the new host of the Dugout Crew, will be 3 p.m. tomorrow on StreamYard. Yes, sir. Jesse and Joey and myself, David St. Dennis, Eric Lima, will all be there for the first show of the new baseball season. It should be fun. Well, and I always say that too. So, Brandon, good luck to you as well. And now the man who enjoyed his concert last week, the Jesus of Jersey, who I like to call, here he is, Johnny Pizzi.
Whoa!
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I get that a lot. That looks like
Not
Jesus.
yet, man. Tomorrow you have your Last Supper. Then on Friday you crucify yourself. And then on Saturday you can rise out. Sunday you can come out from
Sunday.
the
I
grave.
do that, yeah.
Yeah. What are you wearing? What kind of shirt is that?
It's Goose, another band I like.
Oh,
Similar
Goose.
they're actually similar to Two Fish.
Goose.
Goose. Like, Goose and Gander.
Yeah.
See, Johnny likes the bands named after animals,
Exactly. Yeah.
the birds, the turtles, the zebras, if there was a band.
There probably will be one day.
Will you do me a favor one time and put together a band and call them FICA?
I
FICA band. But how was the concert last week?
That was a good show. I'm glad. Spent some time off, but had some fun time.
Yeah, Jordy and Brandon filled in for both you and Scott last week, and they did a fantastic job. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. And, like I said, you guys are you're all getting next week off. That's right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, give it up. They worked hard for it. And of course, Scott's here, so that's good. All right. Got 3 out of 4 right now. I'm going to bring in the 4th guy. He had a sore throat last week, so he couldn't make it. He's feeling better right now. I'm glad he's here with us tonight, ready to go. Please welcome Scott McVay.
Hi, guys. Okay, how's it going there tonight?
Oh, well, how are you feeling?
Well, better. I'm not 100% perfect yet, but I'm getting a lot better.
Well, at least you got some voice back. I know, your energy looked like it was depleted when you had the sore throat,
It
last
did,
week.
yeah.
So,
Like I said, the past several days, I've been having a chance to just rest up. And even though I did have to work on Monday here when I was still there, at least I tried to make it so I still was medicated and able to heal up pretty well this way.
very true, very true. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better because, David was worried about you. He's like, because I told him he had a sore throat, and he's like, why'd you guys push it to April 6th? I said, because we were going to take Easter weekend off anyways, a Holy Saturday off anyways. I had to go to church with my mom. So why not just come back on April 6th and you get 2 weeks to rest,
Yes, exactly.
That's good. So we'll be back on April 6th with the 4th episode of Saturdays. Mark that on your calendar there, Mr. Bogart, because I know you're interested in that. And we'll do the same thing that we were set up to do for the 4th episode for the previous Saturday. Anyways, nothing's going to change. Well, nobody knows anyways what we're going to do anyway. We never tell them.
This is true.
Okay, well, if you guys are ready, we're going to go ahead and get this show on the road. I gotta share the screen here. So hold on one second. Let me set that up. Okay. Don't put that back. Okay. Let's go ahead and get ready for the explanation to the rules of Wipe Those Tears. Good luck. Here we go. Okay, this is the final episode before we go on Easter break. We're going to finish up the Ks. We're going to go into the Ls. All right. We got 2 more K games. You got to give a score between 50 and 100. And, of course, once your score is locked in, it cannot be changed. Okay, so just make sure, keep in mind about that. You're going to base those scores on playability, cover art, anything else you can think of. And give it a good score because, NES is. I'm wondering if James is watching this right now. I don't know if James was watching any of our episodes.
Maybe we could get into one day.
Yep.
Maybe
I'm
I found
watching.
a tier list of all like the AVGN episodes, so maybe one day we'll rank all those. But
Yeah, because he's got how many seasons? Almost like 15
he's
seasons.
been doing this for almost 20 years. Actually, this year is his 20th because he started doing he did like those 2 episodes in 2004. Like,
Right.
the pilot episodes. So yeah, even
Very
before
true.
YouTube was a thing.
Mhm.
So 20 years this year.
Oh my. All right.
Amazing.
Very good. Okay. So let's go ahead and open up the board and get ready to start up here. Good luck to all you. Excuse me. All right, we led off with we finished up with Kid Clown. That was the last game I think we did. I'm not
Yeah, I
sure.
remember that one. Yeah.
That was too funny. What looked like Lunette's brother from the Big Comfy Couch.
Oh yeah, we did talk about.
I remember that.
All right. Well, the first game up that we're going to be looking at is one of the 2Ks that we're going to be finishing up here. So let's take a look at it right now. It is Krusty's Funhouse from The Simpsons. Ooh.
Yep.
This was put out by Audiogenic and Acclaim Entertainment, another very good company, by the way, Gianni, right? Acclaim is a good company.
Very good.
September 1992. And let me give you a little bit of rundown about this one. It's a puzzle video game based on the animated sitcom The Simpsons. The player directs small rats to an extermination area. Through complicated maze-like levels, the player controls Krusty the Clown, who must navigate through his Krusty brand funhouse. Each level is a puzzle in which a number of rats must be exterminated. Using different objects and obstacles, Krusty must create a path for the rats to follow and guide them towards an extermination device. Other creatures such as snakes, Martians, flying pigs, and birds attempt to hinder Krusty's progress by injuring him. He must throw pies in order to defeat them. In each stage, the extermination devices are run by a different character, including Bart, Homer, Corporal Punishment, and Sideshow Mel. But I guess why wasn't it Sideshow Bob, right?
Well, because Bob was already in prison by this time.
That's the reason. Okay. Well, let's see. This time we've got the running order that we're going to be going through today. Oh, we've got some comments here. Hey, Danny Lewis is here. And Brandon shaved. Yes, he did.
Yes, Danny, he did shave.
Yes, he did, for sure. Okay. So, for this case, we'll go ahead and start with the ever-popular Canadian of all time, Mark Leota for Krusty's Funhouse.
Well, we saw how inept things were with the summer camp thing on the TV series. I can only imagine how a funhouse would go.
Right.
I mean, the title itself may look like it'd be pretty fun, but I would imagine that the game would be hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, then again, Krusty's always a funny character.
Mm-hmm. Krusty's a very good character.
Hey. All right, let's give this one a good old 73.
A 73 to start off with, a high C, or low C in this case. Whoops. There we go. We got that in. Okay, Brandon Bogard, you're up with Krusty's Funhouse.
So the only kind of Simpsons episodes I would watch or try to watch are clips of the Treehouse of Horror episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can tell there's a bit of things going on in the gameplay images. Then again, it's The Simpsons. You'd be expecting chaos like that.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Krusty is looking at these rats and are like, "Yeah, rats!"
Mm-hmm.
Poor Krusty.
Yep.
What? Looking at Bart smiling, he must have had something to do with it.
He's always playing for it. Yep.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like Bart. So, oh boy. Okay.
Or the boy, as Homer calls him.
The what? Why? What do you call it? That's weird. All right, I'm gonna give it a. Oh, really? Come on.
Shane?
No, I'm gonna give it a 100.
100. Oh my goodness. He stings it up with 100. Ladies and gentlemen. Wow. First game on the bat, and Brandon Bogart goes with a big perfect score. Now we go to Gianni Pizzi with Krusty's Funhouse.
All right. Not really too big into The Simpsons. I don't know if James has played this one, but I do know.
You know, I don't know. I don't think he covered any Simpsons games.
No, he covered one of the early episodes. He covered Bart versus the World and Bart versus the Space Mutants.
Yeah.
But he didn't cover this one. I've definitely heard of this game, though.
Mhm.
I'm going to give this one... I mean, this looks, from what I'm seeing, I've never played it, looks a little better than the other two games. I mean, they weren't as good. But Acclaim is a good company making these games. I don't really know too much about this one. I'm going to give it 73.
You know, you're gonna double up with Mark Leota. Okay. 73. Okay, we got another 73 there, and now we go to Scott McVeigh with Krusty's Funhouse.
Yep, I have actually played this one, even though I did play the Genesis version. These versions all are pretty similar to each other, though. It's a really interesting puzzle game that involves blocks and moving things so you can get the rats to go to the certain locations. I love the fact that it's Bart and Homer trying to basically capture the rats, though, when you lead them to them, though, it's kind of like squishing them in as well. But this game is actually still pretty fun. It is, as Mark did say, this will get tough as it plays along, though. But it's a good way to get you into this way, and there's a lot of challenge. I'm actually going to give this a good old 90.
A 90, okay. On high A there, okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to say before I even give my critique of the game that I've lost that 3.5 pounds, and gentlemen, I'm up to 300 even. All right,
Ooh, nice.
15 weeks.
Yay.
Next goal under 300.
Yeah, let's definitely do that. But thank you very much for that. I want to give yep. We're sitting on that 3.5 pounds for 2 weeks. And I finally got over that hump. Yep. All right. Well, Krusty's Funhouse. Look, I'm not a big Simpsons fan at all. I mean, I've seen some episodes, but I don't watch it. I didn't watch it much in the I watched it more in the beginning, but as time went on and it got played out so much, I stopped watching it. And I don't watch anything of it today because I'm just disappointed that the kids just didn't become teenagers. I mean, the show's been on for almost 30 some odd years now. And he hasn't not yet talked. She's still sucking her pacifier. You got Krusty, who, these characters are just kind of like they never grow up.
No,
and that's the kind of thing I'm kind of disappointed in. Somebody might say, how could you say that about The Simpsons? It's a cool show. Hey, nothing taken away from you. I'm just not a Simpsons fan. I'm not even a South Park fan. I used to like King of the Hill. I used to like King of the Hill, and when they took that one off due to the fact that it was such a conservative show, political wise, I was really PO'd about that. But I don't think I've played Krusty's Funhouse. It'd probably be a fun game. It reminds me of something like the Pied Piper of Hamlin, where he's got to kind of lead the rats out of the building, and it's the puzzle game. I do like puzzle games, so this one might kind of spark my interest a little bit because of the fact that it's a puzzle game. It's got Krusty. Of course, it's got to have Bart in it, even though he's not the main character. Cover art, it looks just like a Simpsons, I'm going to say 86 and leave it at that. Okay, we've got our 5 scores, so let's go ahead and average them out. Here we go.
I think I've got all.
Okay, well, it's not an A, but it's going to be a B, and that's good because it goes to 84.4 for that one. All right. Nicely done. What did you send me, Brandon?
It's a time code 36 when Mackie actually did talk.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, let's look at the next game on the list here. Here we go, guys.
We're doing it.
Kung Fu is next.
I know Kung Fu.
Everybody dance. Yeah. Ah, yes.
Yeah, Kung Fu also happens to be one of the transformations in the new Peach game.
Ah.
Okay, I better stop before I get a headache.
Me too.
Yeah, all right. Very good. Well, Kung Fu is our final K game. So what a way to end the letter K's, you know? Kung Fu was put out by Nintendo June 21st, 1985. Of course, one of the original black box Nintendo covers. It's known as Spartan X in Japan. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up developed by Irem as an arcade video game in 1984. Distributed by Data East in North America. Designed by Takayashi Nishiyama. The game was based on Hong Kong martial arts films. It's a loose adaptation of the Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, and Yuan Boy film Wheels on Meals called Spartan X in Japan. The player controls Thomas, the titular Kung Fu master, as he fights his way through the 5 levels of the Devil's Temple to rescue his girlfriend Sylvia from the crime boss, Mr. X. As they didn't really have any names for these bosses, so they just called him Mr. X, just like in Streets of Rage 2, you know? As he ascends the tower, he has to fight many enemies along the way, and 5 end-of-level boss battles, a concept inspired by Game of Death from the Bruce Lee movie. Thomas and each boss have a health meter, and the game temporarily becomes a one-on-one fighting game during boss battles. The game was a major commercial success, topping the Japanese arcade charts and becoming America's second highest grossing arcade game of 1985, while receiving critical acclaim for its fast-paced, side-scrolling gameplay and detail. Colorful graphics. A port for the Nintendo, known as the Famicom, was developed by Nintendo. Yes, 3.5 million copies were sold worldwide. Can you believe that? They also had ones for the Commodore. The Spartan X2, it spawned a sequel, and its spiritual successors, Trojan and Vigilante. Highly influential game. Oh, what a game, and still is to this day. All right, so now let's go ahead and get on with it with Brandon Bogard with Kung Fu.
Go. Are you okay?
Oh, that's just me doing the. You know, that's the sound effects. That's the kicking and the punching.
Sounds like a dog.
Nah, well, it's sort of while we're going, you know, hoo, 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 you know.
Anywho, so I'm gonna read this. You'll need lightning fast reactions to knock out the knife thrower. Jesus.
Yeah, we have a knife thrower.
Stop the stick fighter and rip up the evil Tom brothers in this action-packed martial arts contest. Are you sure you're tough enough? Because it'll take all your strength and skill to master the moves on Kung Fu. Beat your opponents and rescue the fair Sylvia, who's held captive on the top floor. The action is non-stop, and just when you think you've got your enemies licked... Ew. Licked? What?
Licked.
What?
It's another word
Yeah.
for yeah.
There's always a
Yeah,
giant, a snake, and a fire-breathing dragon to contend with in Kung Fu. What is with all these enemies? Damn.
I have no idea.
I don't think even Kung Fu is gonna even do with all these enemies. Like, Jesus.
Jesus!
Plus, the graphics are not that. They don't look that great on gameplay images. So for all that, I'm gonna give it 73.
Whoa, 73 for Kung Fu from Brandon Bogart. Okay, Gianni, an AVGN. I think James.
I don't know if he might have. I know he's definitely mentioned it,
Yeah.
especially with Karate Kid, but I don't think he's done really. All right, actually, Mike and Bootsy did something about the game.
Mike and Bootsy. What a name.
I don't know if you know who Bootsy is, but
Yeah.
he was on Board James's Board James. If you ever seen that.
Oh, yeah, with the board games that they do.
Yeah,
Ah.
definitely. I know. Irate Gamer has done something on Kung Fu.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know why he would. I mean, it looks like it's a good game. So, I mean, it's a classic in the arcades. I mean, the levels. I'm seeing like a full playthrough of this with no deaths, which is only like 6 minutes. So it looks like it's a short game.
Yep.
I think the levels are pretty much mostly the same. I don't think there's that many like differences to them.
No. They just get harder if you beat the game the first time. The second time around, it gets harder and harder.
Yeah, I know a lot of games. Yeah, do that, but I'm gonna give it 100.
You got it, man. There you go. Johnny gives it 100. First one up there. Okay, Scott, you're up with Kung Fu.
Yep. This is actually a really good title as well here. Like I said, this is actually fun. It's, as you mentioned before, this is based off a classic arcade game, and I think Nintendo did a really good job in translating this over into a game for them as well. And I also like the fact that they decided to make it like one of their own games, even though if it is an arcade translation with the black box and everything too. One thing I absolutely love is sometimes they've actually done some crazy hacks on this game, though. One that I love here is where it takes the characters from the anime series Ranma 1/2 and puts them into the game. It's really awesome, though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I actually like this arcade game. It's not the easiest one in the world, but I'm still going to give it a beautiful 85.
85.
I changed it, so there you go.
85. Okay, that's still a very good B there. Okay, Mark Leota, you're up with Kung Fu.
I know Kung Fu. No, I really don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely one of those classic black box games, of course, like you guys were saying.
Yep.
Yeah, black box games are usually pretty fun. This is actually one I have not played, but I guess kind of almost like karate. I guess almost kind of like that.
Yeah.
All right. 81.
81. Okay. I think you wound up. Who gave an 80 there?
I give the 85. But
Oh, you got an 85. Okay. No one up on that one. Okay. All right. Well, hey, I've played this game numerous times. I love it, left, right, up and down. And
just
yes, I
change
beat it. I figured out some of the tricks on it. You know, saw the long plays on YouTube. I love the cover art, and it's just an overall game that, like it said, why do you think it grows 3.5 million copies on its own? You know, definitely. I'm gonna double up with Gianni on it and give it 100. There it is. We got 100 for it. Boom. Okay. Got our 5 scores. Let's go ahead and average them out. See what we have.
I think I've got all.
Oh, man, we missed the A's on that one. Oh, I really thought even with the 200s, not enough. It gets to 87.8. Goes into the B's. Yep. Goes into the B's right next to Krusty's front house there. 2 B's, though. Not bad. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves ready for the first. For the ever popular Who Am I? Yes, today's Who Am I question of the day for our tier masters. We'll give you 2 clues to the first one, 2 clues in the second one, and then 3 and 3 on the last 4, on the last third and fourth one. Okay? Here's the first clue of the Who Am I. Now, this one should pretty much narrow it down once I give this first clue. But here we go. I am a famous pop singer. Famous pop singer.
Okay.
Okay. And your second clue is Mississippi is my home state. Those are your two clues for the first intermission here. Pop singer, famous pop singer, and Mississippi is the home state of this famous pop singer. Okay. Anybody need to take a break before we go on?
I think I'm good.
I'm good.
All right, very good. We're all ready to go back to where we were, so let's go ahead. All right, we actually have one more K that we didn't really look at yet. I thought we were done with the Ks, but we're not. Okay, we're going to go ahead with another one. It's another karate kind of game. It's called Kung Fu Hero.
Oh,
Heroes.
I've heard of this.
Kung Fu Heroes, yes. And this one was put out by Culture Brain, Namco, June 20th, 1986. Let me tell you a little bit about this game. It's a beat-em-up arcade video game published by Taiyo System and Taito. Chinese Hero is the first game in the Super Chinese series. It was ported to the NES as Kung Fu Heroes. And monsters have taken Princess Min Min captive and have stolen the 10 treasures of the nameless land the game takes place in, leaving everything in sorrow. Kung Fu masters Jackie and Lee return from training and must set out to rescue the princess and find the treasure. There you go. Looks very animated. Looks like Kung Fu Hero Kids, almost.
Kind of.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We start with you, Gianni. You're up.
Right. I have heard of this game, but if I remember correctly, I think it is a good game. But AVGN tried to play this with the Power Glove. That's how I remember it.
Oh, he did he?
Oh, boy.
In the episode, the Power Glove, of course, he could. That was one of the games he played. Yeah, like I said, I've never really played it. But I'm looking up right now, and I knew why that game sounded so familiar. And then I saw the graphics. I'm like, oh yes, I've seen this one before.
Yep.
But I don't really know. Looks a little bit similar. I don't know to Bomberman. I don't know why. But I don't really know much about it, how it's played or any of that. But does look like it's a good game. I don't really hear too much about it. That's why I'm hearing this. It was my first time in a while. I forgot about this game. But I'm gonna give this one 87.
87, a high B. Okay, very good. Okay, Scott, you're up with Kung Fu Heroes.
Let's see. I thought this was actually more or less like an RPG when I first looked at this, though. But it's got a little bit of action in it there too. It's kind of a cute little game, though, and I like the idea that this actually is pretty good, is what it is here. Made from a company called Culture Brain and all that there as well. I never really got a chance to play with it, but it is really cutesy, though. I love the fact that they tried to use the similar art style that they used in the old Famicom cartridge design as well here. So just by the looks of it alone, I think I'm just going to give it a beautiful 80.
An 80, okay. Still a very good B score for that. Jay. Mark Leota, you're up with Kung Fu Heroes.
Yeah, that art style definitely looks pretty cute.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, another Kung Fu game, which, again, I've never heard of that one, but... Kind of looks like something that would maybe be... I don't know. Maybe a Nintendo-friendly family cover or something. I don't know.
Right.
All right, 86.
86. Okay. That means that Gianni one-upped you on that one. He said 87, so he one-upped you. But that's still a good score. 86. Okay. Brandon Bogard, you're up with Kung Fu Heroes.
What was that?
That's a buzzer. No, this is a buzzer. That's a
There
buzzer.
you go.
Well, I'm doing that because there are so many problems I can tell.
Uh-oh.
That there are two characters that are probably twins.
Mhm.
And then we have in the background behind the pink character is some kind of hairy monster with a bit of teeth. I know, even though I see one tooth. Plus, the gameplay images don't even spell kung fu. They just spell like regular game or some kind of location in the sky. This looks awful. 54.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
After the Knife from Brandon Bogart. Okay, we got a buzz there. Okay, well, I've heard of this game, but I've never played it, and it looks a little like, real cartoonish to me with the characters. I mean, they just look like they just don't have any powers on them, and yet it's almost like they're kids. It should have been called Kung Fu Kids, not heroes. Heroes are somebody in their teens or in their adult stage. These look like little, like miniature versions, like the little play group, the play school little finger puppets,
Oh, play school, yeah.
Yeah, the little
Little
finger
people, I think.
little people. Yeah, the little people almost kind of like, So I do agree with Brandon Bogart on it that I don't understand why they chose characters of that nature to kind of, unless this could have been the first kind of anime stuff that was even before anime came out. This could have been the first anime game.
Before anime came out, oh please.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. It's like if this is what spun off of it, we're in deep trouble because that's anime's come a long way from 30 years. I have to agree with Brandon Bogart. I'm going to say 56 and F it myself too. Yeah. Double buzzer. Yep. Okay, we have our scores. Let's go ahead and reveal the average.
I think I've got all.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, but even with the 2 Fs that me and Brandon gave it, it still actually survived. Whoops. It actually goes in the C tier, 72.6. Wow. Oh, man. So that's one of those games that survived. All right. Now we officially are going into the L's. And the first game that we're going to be looking at is the game that's been kind of up there. Remember when we had it up there in the C's or the B's?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but we're going to look at it because, it's called the Emperor. I guess, or the Empire or Emperor.
Oh, yes, I do.
Emperor.
The Emperor, yes. Well, this is the first of the L games because Laser Beam or Laser Invasion comes after it, actually. So
the reason why it's got the apostrophe after the L, that's why.
Yeah. This one was put up by Koei or Koei or...
Yeah.
Yep. May 23rd, 1991. It is a turn-based strategy video game. The user controls Napoleon Bonaparte.
interesting.
The Napoleonic Wars of the late 18th and 19th centuries. The goal is to conquer Europe. The game begins with Napoleon as an army officer, but with victories in combat, the user may get promoted to commander-in-chief, first consul, and finally Emperor of the French, with more powers and actions available at each level. As Emperor, the user also controls Napoleon's brothers, Louis, Jerome, Lucien, and Joseph, as well as Napoleon's stepson, Eugene Bahamanos. What the hell? Beauharnais. Okay. I'd probably get wrapped in the mouth for that one. The game has both military and civilian aspects, and the user can lead armies, act as mayors of cities, depending on the level achieved, engage in diplomacy with other nations. This historically accurate game reproduces many historical figures and the militaries of Europe with great detail. We start off with Scott McVeigh with L'Empereur.
Yep. Here's another good Koei strategy title, though. It's amazing they decided to go with a, I guess you could say, a French design instead of the traditional Asian ones with the Asian, Chinese, and Japanese style. But there you go.
Mhm.
Actually, it's not a bad idea, to try to see if you can recreate the Napoleon's era, and his conquering of Europe and all that there as well. This is kind of neat, but again, I'm not a big strategy fan myself, but I'll still give this because I love this cover art, which is beautiful pictures of Napoleon and the rest of his family. It's a good old 88.
88, a high B for Scott McVeigh. Okay. All right, we go now back to Mark Leota with Le Empereur.
The Emperor, French title, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right, which is probably why I've never heard of it.
Yep.
Isn't yeah, my French. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother. All right, 68.
Whoa, a D. Oh boy. 68. Okay, we buzzed that one. Okay, we go to you, Brandon, for Le Empereur.
So I guess the graphics are okay. Some of the maps, some of the gameplay images. I'm gonna give the same 88.
Oh, you're gonna double up with Scott. Okay, there you go. Doubling up with Scott there. We double up. Got an 88 for you. Okay. Johnny, you're up with Le Empereur.
Okay. I have not heard of this game.
And I don't think James did it either because I never saw him ever touch something like this.
No, I mean it's a history game, and he has complained in the past about like educational history games.
Yeah.
Which I think we're getting to that one soon. Which you talked about, but I really don't know. I mean, you can see a lot of the historical figures in NES cover art, which is kind of. I mean, it's different from the most other cover arts you've seen, so that's something good. I cannot find much gameplay footage from the NES one.
Mm-hmm.
From what I'm seeing with the cover art, I'm gonna give it 72.
72. Okay, it's still a passing grade there. Okay. Hey, Doc. Huh? Come here a minute. Huh? Where you putting the artillery? Here. Here. I am the emperor, and I say here. Funny, I thought I was gonna say that too. The emperor makes the decisions around here, and it goes here. Brandon's looking at me like we're quoting from Bugs Bunny with Napoleon,
Yeah.
What's up, Doc?
That's right. Yeah. I saw the cartoon, and I thought it was pretty funny the way he was just like, he's like, hey, Doc, huh? Come here a minute. He's like, where you putting the artillery?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's based on the cartoon of Napoleon trying to be a smart aleck, but we all know Napoleon Bonaparte from the history books. He was a very French dictator at that point, and he reigned supreme, of course, and always thought highly of himself. Stuck his hand in his shirt pocket. You know, I don't know if he was playing with a little nipple action there or something. You never know. That's right. I get a free city for that one. Oh, stop it. Oh my gosh. So, I mean, the cover art's great, but there's a lot of stuff going on there. It looks like there's just like every time you look at it once, you say, I looked at it, I saw something, I come back and look at it again, I didn't see that. Oh, I didn't see that. The brain is going on. My brain's going in 50 directions with this cover art.
Okay.
I'm getting a headache looking at the darn thing. So I'm gonna say 60 and give it a D. Oh boy. That's what I'm giving it. And the gameplay, well, you guys can have that fun that strategy game there. I don't like the strategy role playing games on the. I'd rather do them role playing like Dungeons and Dragons out on the boards, and do it that way. So, all right, let's see what the average is.
I think I've got all.
I think the artillery actually did better than the game itself. It actually got a C, 75.2, even with a couple of D's on the board. All right. Okay. Now we are going into the next game on the L list. Let's take a look at it right now. It's a game called Laser Invasion. Yes. Laser, and that's what we're looking at. From the company called Konami. Whoa, this ought to be good then,
Oh, yeah.
April 20, no, I'm sorry, wrong one. March 15th, 1991. Laser Invasion. Let's take a look at it. Released as Gunsight in Japan, a multi-genre first-person action game. The player takes control of a military operative who pilots an attack helicopter in order to infiltrate various enemy bases and fulfill his mission. The game supports the standard NES controller as well as the Zapper light gun and the laser scope. Oh, Gianni.
All of it. And the light gun, too, right?
Yeah, remember that James had fun with the laser scope. Remember he was going, fire.
That was, yes.
I guess you could say anything. Bombs.
Oh, I just shot a duck by saying.
A voice-activated headset controller Konami released for the NES that was compatible with all light gun games released for the system. A hostile nation is secretly planning to launch a new type of weapon against its enemies. As a member of the Special Armed Force, the player's objective is to prevent the enemy from launching their weapon. The player's initial objective is to rescue a covert agent codenamed Spider, who has been captured in one of the enemy's bases. We go back to the top of the order with Mark Leota.
Okay. Let's see. That looks like that kind of looks like it's on fire. Literally on fire.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Ooh. Let's see. Pretty nice. And not sure what that character's supposed to be doing there. Let's say 79 for that one.
79. Okay. A high C for Mark Leota. Okay, Brandon Bogard, you're up with Laser Invasion.
So I like that there is in the gameplay images, there's a bit of dark blue. Pretty good. This is an invasion. We gotta make it a little darker.
Mm-hmm.
I like the color and the The color and the graphics, they look pretty good. I'm gonna give this 95.
Wow. An A for Brandon Bogard. Okay. Gianni. Laser Invasion with the
I know.
laser scope.
Pretty much all of the NES accessories that he's talked about are confused in this game.
Yeah.
But I know for some games I've definitely said this before. But I feel like this is definitely the most accurate. It looks pretty much almost like Top Gun.
Yeah. I mean, that's the bane of his existence, Top Gun.
Exactly. Like the graphics I'm seeing looks like a plane. Pretty much almost what you see in that. Even the title screen kind of looks very similar to the one Top Gun. But, I mean, you could use the laser scope, which he did.
You had the other one with the flying bar, right? Remember that one and it was actually working better than anything else on the accessories.
Yeah, and you also could not use the Zapper in Top Gun. So this is, I don't think you could.
Right.
But what was there another console or accessory you said? I know you said the super scope, laser scope, and
the laser scope and the Zapper light gun, but I thought there was a third one. That the last one he used was that thing with the top half thing and the bar that had like a flying thing on it.
Oh, the U-Force.
The U-Force.
The U-Force. I forgot about the
The
U-Force.
U-Force. Thank you, Scott. Yes.
Welcome.
The U-Force, which he says, man, this rocks, man. We actually got this.
Yeah, but I'm gonna give this one, even though it's a Top Gun ripoff, looks I think better than the actual Top Gun game.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the gameplay, but 85.
85. Okay. All right. There you go. Got it up there. Nicely done. Okay, Scott, you're up with Laser Invasion.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm looking right now at an actual magazine review of this game. And 4 people reviewed this sucker. And when you look at the average score that they gave this, they gave it an average of only 4.5 out of 10 on this game.
Ooh.
They did not like it at all, though.
Wow.
So, I mean, the best score was 6 out of 10. So that tells you it's not that great.
Mhm.
And if it's as difficult as Top Gun ever was, you know it's not going to be well liked. And I'm guessing it's because all this weird stuff in there. They're just saying some really lousy stuff about it, though.
Mhm.
And I love the art. I love the cover art and everything like that. I can't give it anything higher than a 60.
Oh, higher than a 60. Okay, he buzzes it. All right. There we go. We got the buzzer for you. 60 there. Okay, well, I like the cover art. Never played the game, but I probably have fun with it because it's a Top Gun. Like you say, Johnny, it's a Top Gun ripoff.
Exactly. I mean, it looks so much better than the actual Top Gun game, but I don't know about if you can win the play not in this one.
Yeah. Well, I would have to say I have to base this primarily on just all on the cover, and I'm going to say about 75 and give it a C. You know, just give it an average score and let it go on that one. All right, we got our 5 scores. Here we go.
I think I've got all.
Well, this one's going to go right into the C tier with right next to Le Emperor, 78.8. So far we've got 3 C's, we've got 2 B's, and that's so far what we have in the 5 games that we've seen so far. All right, 3 C's and 2 B's, no A's, no D's, and certainly no F's. We really haven't had many F's. Well, we've had a grand total of about 8 F's in the entire series. So we know that there were some really fantastic games, and then there was the flops. All right, next up on the list here is a movie game with looks like Schwarzenegger, Last Action Hero. Oh boy.
I'll be back.
Yep, this is by Teeny Weeny Games and Sony ImageSoft. Put out October 1993. It's a series of action video games based on the 1993 film of the same name. And they were released for the NES, Super NES, Sega Genesis, Game Boy, Game Gear, MS-DOS, Sega CD, Master System. Last Action Hero is based on the film, so if you've seen that film, you know what the game is all about. Taking the form of a side-scrolling beat-em-up in the Super Nintendo and Genesis versions, players have a strict time limit to defeat each level of the game. Every version of the game has the climatic showdown with Mr. Benedict, the movie's primary villain, except for the NES, Game Boy, and Game Gear versions. There are 2 car chase stages, one in Jack Slater's movie World, and another in Danny Madigan's Real World. Last Action Hero was released for 7 platforms. We know about that. It had negative reviews, and yeah, they said it was dull and lifeless. Wow. There was also an Amiga action called the Amiga version, utter trash. Wow. So they said the movie was actually better than the game, which James had a lot to say about movies that became games and how bad they were, you know? Okay, well, this time we'll start with Brandon Bogart with Last
Teeny weeny games? What?
Teeny Weeny Games, yes, one of the companies.
Oh, unbelievable. So let me read the back cover. I'll try to read this quickly. Last Action Hero blasts you out of the real world onto the silver screen and back again in a non-stop action adventure based on the epic fantasy featured starring Arnold Schwartz as movie hero Jack Slater. You'll team up with your biggest fan, Danny Lewis. I'm kidding, Danny Madigan. You'll
Danny Lewis
got a magic movie ticket. That's the ticket to serious trouble, leaping between both the movie world and the real world with this magic ticket. You'll get into wild chases and deadly fights with the most dangerous criminals imaginable. Okay, that's all I can go. But the graphics don't look that bad. And I'm just going by the graphics on both covers. Yeah, it seems like it's representing its name. I'm going to go 93.
93 for Brandon Bogart. Very good. Huh? A low A, but still a very respectable score. Gianni, you're up with Last Action Hero.
All right, so I have not seen the movie. I don't think I knew about the movie for this game. I feel like maybe I have, but I don't know. I can't really find much on this. I mean, I don't know if AVG, another one AVG has done, but from what I'm seeing, okay, I do like a screenshot one seeing like the city and the cars. I'm gonna give this one 77.
77. Okay, we got that one for you. Okay, Scott McVeigh, you're up with Last Action Hero.
Well, again, it's a movie game, and the cover is basically the movie poster, so we can't really base that too much off of that. And as you mentioned before, when you're doing your description, it was not critically liked too well, though.
Yeah.
So it pretty much tells you it was not a great game to start with, though. I do remember, however, playing a pinball game based off of this years ago as well. So I consider that to be the better game of anything else. So there you go. But just cover art alone, I can only give it a 70.
Only a 70. Still a passing grade, though. That's very good. Okay. All right. We go with Mark Leota now with Last Action Hero.
I'll be back. In the words of one Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You always say that. Yes, I did.
He always says that, but does he ever actually come back? No.
I love the fact that. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'll be back. You always say that. Shit. Shit. I always love that scene.
Yep.
Okay, Last Action Hero.
Yep.
That is actually a pretty cool title. And Schwarzenegger's always been a very great actor. So, this gets a Last Action score of 88.
88. Okay. There we go. Well, I've never played the game. I've seen the movie. And I probably didn't see when it first came out because I was not old enough. I was just watching Terminator 2 was my very first R-rated movie that my mom allowed me to actually go into the theaters and see R-rated. So we were talking Last Action Hero. I'm a big Schwarzenegger fan, but I never, Kindergarten Cop was one of my favorites that he did, I must say.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Yeah, that's true. That's right. I got a headache. Maybe it's a tumor. It's not a tumor. But this one, I mean, like you said, it's just the cover art from the poster. So I mean, there's nothing, nothing different about it. But you know how they say that the movies are actually better than the games. James even has said that how many times, right, Gianni?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we've all know that the games become flops when the movies become flops when they become games. So it's better to just watch the movie and know that at least you got one of them. I think the only exception of a good movie game was Batman. that was about it, because even Ghostbusters was that bad, you know. Cool World was that bad. Friday the 13th was bad, you know. We, as you could tell, we gave him some pretty bad scores of D's and F's, you know. So, with this one, I'm going to just pass it and say 70. And I think somebody else got a 70 in there. Somebody doubled up with, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we doubled up on that one. Okay. Let's go ahead and average out the scores for Last Action Hero.
I think I've got all.
Well, I tell you, this one, despite the fact that it, you know, there was some mediocre scores on it, it actually goes in the C tier at 79.6. It just missed the B's by about 0.4. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, there you have it, friends, on that game. Let's go ahead and get ready for the break here. The second half hour of our program is complete, so it's time for 2 more clues for Who Am I? Ah, yes. Let's go ahead and put the ticker up there. Okay. In this next clue, my middle name is Randall. Randall. Okay. And the next clue is I starred in the movie Alpha Dog. Alpha Dog. Those are your 2 clues for that. In the next half hour, you'll get 3 clues. All right. Anybody need to take a break at this time?
I think I'm good.
I would like to say, and I'm very happy to say, that was our 300th game rating.
Awesome.
Nicely done. Hey, thank you, statistician.
410 more.
Oh my goodness. Well, I tell you, and just for that, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and do a little dancing with Battletoads. Hey, let's have a little dance. Ins, out, up, down, and oot around. Come down, who to do the James Bond. There you have it. All right, there we go. James and Mike. I think it was James and I don't know who else was doing it.
Kyle, the guitar guy behind the couch.
Yeah, James and Kyle with Battletoads. I think somebody did 10 hours of that too. I think.
Yes, I believe it. I think I've seen that one actually. Not the whole 10 hours, but I know
it went viral. It went viral. I'll tell you that.
That's how I mostly know about like the pause music from Matt.
Yep, that pause music will go down in history. Okay, we're ready. We're ready for the next half hour. Okay. Love that intro music. That's so nice. It's so relaxing.
That's just so nice.
Next up on the list is The Last Ninja. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh boy. This is put out by Beam Software. Jaleco, as I like to call it.
Jaleco, I think, yes.
Jaleco, I know.
I thought it was always Jalico, but I'm not sure.
I always thought it was Jalco or Jalco. Yeah, but it's Jaleco, according to what Gianni said. February 1991. This is an action-adventure game originally developed and published by System 3 for the Commodore 64 in 1987. Ah, yes. It's one of the most successful games released on the Commodore 64, was followed by Last Ninja 2 and Last Ninja 3. Oh, okay. The Last Ninja contains a blend of exploration, puzzle solving, and combat. The object of the game is to guide the ninja protagonist, Armakanui. Armakanui? Wow. That's an interesting name. On his journey to the palace of the evil shogun, Kunitakoki. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die trying to get these names.
There you go.
Oh my God, this is sad. I was never good with Japanese names except sushi, you know? So the evil Shogun was to assassinate him, avenge his clan, and retrieve the sacred scrolls. As the player progresses, the evil Shogun's henchmen becomes more challenging as they learn the ways of the ninja. The interface consists of the opponent's energy and collected inventory on the right and player's health on the bottom. The world is viewed in an isometric perspective, allowing the player to move in 8 directions. Movements are relative to the direction Makanui is facing, but restricted to predefined paths upon inaccessible scenery. Oh my God. All right, so let's see. Who starts this time? I think it's Gianni. Yes.
Might be, yeah.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, Gianni. Yes, that's right. Gianni, you're up with The Last Ninja.
All right. Now I do know I haven't seen it, but I know that he has played this one.
Okay.
It's a more newer one though. So, but I do think from a little bit what I have seen of. I haven't seen the whole episode. But after this, I might go back and watch it. The music, I know it loops. I think one of those games, the music loops over and over again. It's so annoying. But I don't really know much about the gameplay of this one. I mean, I do like some of the graphics. I mean, there's this one that I think you're by the park. I don't know if that's a ocean or a blue painted street. More like, I guess, the water
street.
Street? Or
Like a river or something like that.
that's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the park bench, so I didn't know if it was, but I'm going to give this one. I will give it 76.
76. Okay. A very good middle C there. All right. Scott McVeigh, you're up with The Last Ninja.
Okay. If I remember right, James did do a review of this.
Yeah, it was a newer one. Like about a year ago.
He had a really tough time on a certain jump and all that there, trying over and over and just failing every time though. And then he was like dumbfounded when he finally did get it finished or something like that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was hilarious, which means this is not an easy game. And I wonder if there's like was a translation problem, or something, or when they were trying a conversion problem with this though when it came out. It's not a bad game though, still, but and it's actually still kind of fun though, even though I never played it myself. From what I've seen, it can be done if you know exactly what you're doing, you can do it, finish it off in just minutes or something like that. But it's still a good game. 75.
Oh, he one-upped you. Oh, boy. Well, we get a one-up for Gianni. Okay, 75. Okay. Mark Leota, you're up with The Last Ninja.
Okay, The Last Ninja. Well.
I'll be back.
Yeah, I'm not a ninja, but I try.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anyway, Last Ninja. Wonder how good one has to be to actually be a ninja.
A lot of studying takes.
Oh, that's true.
In
You
real
must
life.
study well, master.
Yes. It's not like it's in the movies. They kind of speed everything up to where the person finally graduates, but there's a lot of studying. It's like almost a 20-year reign of studying, I would think. You study your whole life, pretty much.
Oh, wow, that's a lot. So that doesn't leave, like, really any free time for anything else.
Nope, because you're always learning new things.
Okay, let's give this one a 72.
72. Oh, you guys are right around the low C mark there. Okay. Raider Bogard, you're up with The Last Ninja.
Okay, so the last. So I would say. Okay, you can hear me, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, we can
Okay,
hear you.
good. So I would say, hey, The Last Ninja. So there are some locations in gameplay that do work, some that don't work. I like in both covers that there is the Japanese flag red circle, except the one on the front cover looks more like the rising sun.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized that. I'm gonna give this 89.
Wow, an 89. Oh, he gives it a high B. Okay, very good. Well, I have not played the game. I've seen the game, and I think I've seen it on Video Power, The Last Ninja. I think a lot of the kids there were some pretty good tips and tricks on this one from those guys in the 90s. A lot of the kids used to grab that game a lot of the time for when they ran the obstacle course. The free for all is what I like to call it. I think that's how a lot of kids got their NES games, being on that show. If you were the champ. The cover art is fantastic. It looks like the guy from American Ninja, Michael Dudikoff. It really does. If you look closely.
Yep.
I cover art wise is the only thing I can go on right now, and I'm going to give it a 92. I'm going to give it a low A. Yep. There we go. Okay, we have our scores. Let's go ahead and reveal the average.
I think I've got all.
Well, I tell you, this game has some pretty interesting stuff going for it. It's going to go. Oops, I grabbed the wrong thing here. Whoops. It's not going to be in the D tier. It's actually going to be in the B tier. It goes up to 80.8. Goes right next to Kung Fu. Boom. There it is. 3 Bs. And we got 3 Cs. 6 games so far. You guys got some B's and C's in the till there. Nothing more than that. No A's yet either. That's kind of strange for you guys. Usually you have at least 1 A in the night, but I may be jinxing you. I'm not really trying to jinx you. Okay, the next one up on here is called The Last Starfighter. Oh boy. Yeah. And this one's put out by Eastridge Technology and Mindscape from June of 1990. This is a science fiction side-scrolling shoot 'em up originally designed by Andrew Braybrook for the Commodore 64. They call it Uridium. Okay, that's the cover art that you can see if you're looking at the Wikipedia. The game went for the Commodore 64 and later ported to other 8-bit machines. It consists of 15 levels, each named after a metal element, with the last level being called Uridium, a fictional metallic element not to be confused with the real metallic element Iridium. The manual quotes Robert Orchid, who invented the game, saying, "I really thought it existed." Uridium was later released for the NES in 1990. Mindscape purchased a license to release the game. And, it was based on the film The Last Starfighter. Here it is. The solar system is under attack. Enemy super dreadnoughts have been placed in orbit around each of the 15 planets in this galactic sector. They are draining mineral resources from the planetary cores for use in their interstellar power units. Each super dreadnought seeks out a different metal for its metal converter. Your Manta-class space fighter will be transported to each planet in turn, and it is your task to destroy each dreadnought. First, you must attack the defensive screen of enemy fighters. Then you must neutralize the majority of surface defenses before you land on the Super Dreadnought's master runway. Once on board, you must pull as many fuel rods as possible from the metal converters before you take off for a final strafing run. As the Dreadnought vaporizes into the nether. Wow. Scott McVeigh, you're up. First with Starfighter.
Not a bad looking title here. Let's see. From what I read on a site here, this is actually I guess you could say virtual successor of the game. Now, I remember watching the original movie, and I'll tell you right now, this game is nothing like the so-called video game that was used in that movie to help start the space adventure and everything as well too.
Mhm.
But you got to admit, it's a pretty cool idea. The fact that it actually got really good ratings and all that there as well. So I love this cover art because it looks very similar to that of the actual movie here,
Yep.
and it's pretty nice. I will still give this an 88.
An 88. Okay. That's about a high B. All right. We now go to Mark Leota with The Last Starfighter.
The Last Starfighter, which I have not played, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how good it would be.
Probably good if you like those kind of space games like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't really done too much of space, I don't think. Anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it does look like a pretty cool cover. Is that supposed to be an alien on there?
Anybody can see the cover art. If you're looking at the Wikipedia, it's going to have it under Iridium with a lot of space stuff.
The original game it was based off of.
Yeah.
And the NES cover art, which you see, I think here is the main character. You know, it ready to suit up here from the movie here. Well, it's actually human.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then I will give that an 81.
An 81. Okay. Still a very good B there. Brandon Bogard, you were up with The Last Starfighter.
So, yeah, I have to thank Scott. I wasn't sure what was going on with that front cover. Gameplay images. While blue is my second favorite color, I think there's a little too much of it. As far as what I'm looking at, I'll put it in the private. I'll put the link in the private chat for what I'm. Like a whole lot of blue. So I'm gonna give it 87.
87?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. So that means that somebody one-upped you on that. I think we had 2 one-ups, right? Yep. Got one up. Okay, you still get an 87 for that. Very good. Okay, Gianni, you're up with The Last Starfighter.
Okay, I did not know that there was a movie on this, or
yes, there was.
Yes, there
I
was.
don't think I have heard of that movie, but yeah, I do like the cover art from what I'm seeing. Looks pretty much what the movie cover I think looks like a little bit. I guess I've never really seen it. Didn't really know that movie existed, but I like the title screen. I do like some of the graphics, so I mean, for a movie-based NES game, not really too bad. So I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna put it in 92.
92. Okay, there you go. All right. Well, The Last Starfighter, huh? Looks like something like Flight of the Navigator almost. The way I see that one of the cover art I was looking at. Yeah, there is a lot of blue going on in that cover art there, Brandon. Definitely. A lot. But I mean, if they're trying to depict deep space.
Oh, not cover art, gameplay images.
Oh, well, but what I saw from what you showed me, it's the same cover. I just had seen it up close, and it was the front cover. And boy, you right. I mean, but they were trying to depict deep space. It should have been more black, more starry, for you wanted really deep space. And looking at that again, let me pull it up from my images here. Yeah, this definitely looks like somebody from the 80s.
Yeah. In fact, this actually is a recreation of the cover for the actual videotapes and movie poster art as well.
Oh, wow. Well, I tell you, Yeah, that looks like something definitely coming out of the movies and into your screen and now into your gameplay of your living room. So I've never played the game, so I can't. All I can do is based on the cover art, and I'm going to give it a 75 and call it a day. Can't really say much on it, anyways, because I don't know the gameplay on it. Even though I've given you that description, doesn't mean I don't know garbage about it. You know. Here we go with the average, guys.
I think I've got.
Wow, you guys are really throwing it. That 92 actually takes it into the B tier. 84.6. Wow. Now there's some of the games that we've looked at tonight don't even, in my book, don't deserve it, except Kung Fu should have been an A. But again, I highly disagree that some of those games should have been Bs. But that's your fourth B of the night. 4 Bs and 3 Cs, and no other grade has even come close to it. Okay, let's look at the next game on the list here. We have Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf, another golf game. Oh boy. Got a very interesting one here. This is put out by the company SNK, March 24th, 1988. 1 to 4 players. It's an arcade game. The player can choose between 4 different golfers with varying advantages and disadvantages. Lee Trevino, who lent his endorsement to this North American NES version of the game, is playable only in the North American version as a character named Super Mex, an actual nickname of his. The Japanese version uses characters named Birdie Tommy in place of Trevino himself. Other characters include Pretty Amy, Eri, Miracle Chosuki, and Big Jumbo. Pretty Amy has limited range, but the easiest control. Control refers to the length of the aiming guide. Miracle Chosuki and Super Mex have average attributes, and Big Jumbo, he's got the best range, but the worst control. Despite the title, no fighting is involved in the game. The player has to avoid sand traps, water hazards, rough ground, and trees. And the courses range from relatively straightforward fairways to elaborate arrangements of sand traps. The 2 courses available for play are the United States, which consists of mostly bunkers and super rough, and the Japan course, consisting of water and tight boundaries. The United States course is modeled after PGA West Stadium course. Wow. Okay, so we have another interesting golf game here. We go to the top of the order now with Mark Leota.
I don't think I've played this one. I've never even heard of
Lee Trevino.
Well, I've heard of him. I've just never really been one to watch golf. All right. 64.
Ooh, a D. 64. First buzzer for you tonight. Yep. All right. Brandon Bogard, you're up with Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf. No character.
Lee Trevino, winner of 87 Skins Games.
Yeah, he's one of the more good ranked golfers out there in the day.
I'm sorry, wait a minute. Winner of 87 Skins game?
Yeah, the Skins game. Yeah, that's a specific tournament that they have.
Yeah, it's a special type of play by the whole, see who wins the whole, style tournament here.
Yep.
Okay. Unless you want to. Who calls that golf game of skins?
I don't know. I don't play golf myself. Scott would know a lot about the Skins game, I guess.
A little. I don't even though I don't really play golf, but I've heard the terms.
Yeah, I've heard of it myself, but I just couldn't define it.
So I'm very disappointed. The graphics do not look good at all. Plus, one of them, it looks like instead of a golf hole, if that's what it's called, instead it looks like a baseball plate. So 66.
Oh boy, we have 2 Ds. Okay. All right. Gianni, you're up with Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf.
Okay. Even though I did not know who that was.
I know, right?
I mean, he might be a little before my time, I guess. I don't know. But
Yeah, he is. He was around in the. He was definitely around in the 80s and the 90s.
yeah. I mean, I also don't really know that many golfers in
Yeah.
general, so that might be why. But I mean, it's a fighting game. You said before, not much fighting involved.
There's no fighting involved. It's just kind of one of those things they throw on there to make it look interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if there was fighting involved, I mean, this will be, I guess, a much better game. But it's just
Yeah, they're throwing their clubs. You know, they're attacking,
Yeah.
beating up trees and everything.
It
And then
would make it so much different.
You know what would be great,
Yeah.
Johnny? If they
What?
could have like a squirrel come across the screen and then you just start shooting bullets at the squirrel.
Oh,
Just-
that would be,
Squirrel
yeah.
explode right in
I mean,
front
if
of
that were to happen,
Mhm.
yeah, if that, I feel like it would be
Oh.
definitely out of the ordinary. And I think it's definitely a much more better game.
you.
Yeah,
There it is.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like the traditional
Yeah.
golf game, which we've
Who-
seen a bunch of times.
Whoever did that, sorry, I was too late on that.
No, it's
Yeah,
okay.
it's okay.
But I could just see it if you want to talk about a fighting golf game, man, you got your golfer and he's trying to aim for the squirrel, you know, or some kind of flying object out there
Mhm.
to hit him with his ball. Now that would be a fighting golf game.
But I'm gonna have to give it. I think I'm giving it the same score as Mark, 64.
Ah, he's doubling up. Oh boy. There it is. He doubles up and buzzes. Yep. Okay. All right, Scott, you're up with Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf.
Yep. Well, first of all, it's SNK, and they did some good titles and all that. I would rather play Neo Turf Masters on the Neo Geo over this game if I was going to play a golf game from SNK. Believe it or not, did you know that even though this name has fighting golf, and you've already mentioned no fighting, there is a game that exists. It's not on this system, but it's something called Ninja Golf on the Atari 7800.
Ah,
You actually are a
You might have
ninja.
heard of that.
But hit the golf ball, and then you have to, as you run get to the ball to hit it for the next time, you have to fight ninjas and sometimes a few other animals here. So it's a pretty interesting little type of game. And then when you get to the green, instead of putting in the ball, you have to basically shoot at throw shurikens at a dragon that goes back and forth across the screen. Though,
oh boy.
really crazy
That's
little
how
game.
In it. Yeah.
It is interesting. It's a lot more interesting than any other normal golf game. I'll say that.
Right.
That's not on this system though, which sucks. But as for Lee Trevino, triple up, 64.
Oh boy. Triple it up there. There we go. 64. Coming to common score here, you know. Okay. Well, look, I've heard of Lee Trevino before, but why would you put fighting on a golf game if there is no fighting? It's like on, Bruce Lee says, you could call it the other fighting without fighting. That's it. The other fighting without fighting? Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I'd like to see some fighting in there. I'd like to see some squirrels get shot down, with the ball, or maybe you hit a bird or something. No offense to the birds, but still. Some kind of obstacles where you got to go and get around besides the sand traps and the water, the bunkers and the water hazards and all that stuff. Let's get some real obstacles in there. Maybe like a swarm of bees, maybe. Hey, that would be interesting. Or a tornado. Or some kind of like Jason coming in from Friday the 13th, with a chainsaw attacking you when you're trying to tee off, and you got to beat up the masked hockey man or something.
Yeah.
All we have here, yeah, I know, right? all we have here is pretty much a simplified golf game, and Lee Trevino put his endorsement on it. 61. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. All right, let's average it out, gentlemen. Here we go. Ooh.
I think I've got all.
Yeah, that's your first D of the night, man. It's going to stay right there in the D tier. 63.8 gets a horn. There it is.
Ooh, first horn tonight.
First horn of the night. Yes. And that takes us, unfortunately, to the third half hour is finished. Yeah. Puts us at the 10:30 mark and gets us ready for Who Am I? And we're ready to go once again. All right. Now you're going to get 3 clues to this specific person. So here we go. First clue is, you may know me from my days as a Mouseketeer. Okay. Clue number 2. I was once a part of Lou Pearlman's boy band Factory. And the third clue, my current album contains 6 #1 hit singles. Okay, and if you're playing along with us, please, you can feel free to put them in the comments there. Don't reveal your answers, please, until after the show is over. So those are your 3 clues there, and that's going to be you'll get the final 3 clues at the end of the program. Anybody going to take a break?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Normally, I would say if you guys want to stop for the night, but I think you guys have not stopped for the night. And of course, we're going on vacation next week, so you guys are doing fantastic. Let's get some more games in before we can wrap it up. Because we're going to be off next week. All right, let's start it up once again. And what a fitting game to start on this next half hour with. Oh, where am I going? Here we go. We've got it looks like the Legend of the Wizard, Legacy of the Wizard.
Yeah.
Legacy of the Wizard. This game is put out by Nihon Falcom, Namco, and Broderbond, which is, of course, a Carmen Sandiego company game.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Yep. This was July 17th, 1987. It's a fantasy-themed action role-playing game released for the MSX, the MSX2, Famicom, NES. It's an installment in Falcom's Dragon Slayer series, and one of only 5 Dragon Slayer games that were localized outside of Japan. The game chronicles the story of the Drazi family, or the Drazel family, abbreviation for Dragon Slayer. Though the characters are given the last name Warzun in the credits, and their attempt to destroy an ancient dragon named Kila that is magically entrapped in a painting with an underground labyrinth. To accomplish this goal, they must find the Dragon Slayer. Are we playing Tic-Tac-Toe 90 here or something?
You win!
You win! A magical sword The magical sword that is protected by 4 hidden crowns. The player must use the unique abilities of each member of the family to regain possession of the crowns and destroy the evil Kila. Sounds like Tila.
Yeah.
Like He-Man. Like many games of its era, the story of Legacy of the Wizard is explained almost entirely in the game's instruction manuals. So who reads the instruction manuals these days, right?
Nobody.
Nobody.
That's probably why they don't include physical instruction books in games anymore.
That's true. Brandon Bogard, you start us off with Legacy of the Wizard.
I feel like this is up. I'm looking at the gameplay images. I'm looking at all of these.
Hey, we got Jesse Havoc with us tonight. What's up, guys? Yeah, we're doing all right. Thank you for joining us tonight,
Thank you, Jesse. But the problem, well, I like the castle. It's called Legacy of the Wizard.
Legacy of the Wizard.
And
Yep.
it said there's a dragon there.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the dragon? Where's the wizard?
They're not on the cover art.
Well,
it's confusing, I know, right?
Pulling up again.
Pulling it up again.
So they're not. They're really not on the cover.
Nope.
Well, then what the? Oh my god!
Oh,
That's
my.
fucked up. No 61.
60. Whoa. Okay, a D for that one. Okay. Gianni, you're up with the legacy of the Wizard.
Okay, I don't think I've heard of this one, but from what I see of it, okay, I do like the cover art of it. The flaw of like the gameplay, I feel like I have seen in most games.
Mhm.
So a combination of the graphics. I do like the cover art though. I'm gonna give it 78.
78. Wow, yeah. you had to think about that one, right? 78.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, Johnny, you got that one. Scott, you're up with the Legacy of the Wizard. Oh, boy.
Okay, now this is actually not so bad. As I continue reading the Wikipedia stage here, I love the fact that you can have different characters. Each of them are going to have different abilities that you need to get each of these so-called 4 crowns to get that sword, started up and all that as well. What I love is the fact that some characters are strong but have weak jumps and weak magic. Another one might be really weak in strength, but she actually is very strong in magic. And that's your wizard, actually, is the mother character on this one there. So there you go.
Right.
What I love is the fact that you even have a pet, that can actually be a fight, character that's like a monster character. So it's really neat, though. It says that there are also some pretty tough puzzles at times, though, but that's typical on an NES title these days. So there you go. Not a bad little game. And I think, and even though Brandon was complaining a lot about there was no wizard and no dragon on the cover, it looks like a nice D&D style party, though, / family that would work there. So I have to go even a much better score than what he gave and give this a pretty nice 78.
Oh, you're going to double up with Gianni there. There you go. Okay. 78 for Scott. Okay. Good. Mark Leota, you're up with the Legacy of the Wizard.
The Legacy of the Wizard. I know there was a movie called The Wizard. I don't know if this game is based off that. Or...
Not even close.
Well, sorry about that. Your prediction off of that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure what those two people are doing on the cover. Let's see. I will give that one a 75.
75. Okay. A little bit from there. 75. Okay. Well, I have to agree with Brandon Bogart on this one. It's not often that we agree on stuff of cover arts and everything. Yeah, where's the dragon? Where is the other thing? All you see is 2 guys on a path that look like they're going absolutely nowhere.
It's actually 4 people there. So
4 people. Okay, but I mean, like you
Yeah,
said,
there is 4 people, and one of them looks like a stick figure.
But I mean, you're right. And look, I've seen a lot of role playing games on the computer or something of that. Never saw this one. Never played this one. Wizard games, they come and go. How many times do we have to kind of get down to the point where they get old very fast? Dungeons and Dragons will always be the best role playing game ever. I don't care what anybody says or disagrees with me. I know that for a fact that's the game that started all of the the RP games. That was the start of it, and it will always go on as the father of role playing. In this case, the cover art is a lot of orange. And Broderbound is a very good company because of Carmen Sandiego. But again, I'm going to have to unfortunately fail this and go with a 58. Yeah. Oh boy. Lower than some of you guys because cover art wise, I'm looking at this and I'm like, hey, too much orange. Oh, too much orange. Okay, let's go ahead and reveal the average. Oh boy.
I've gone all.
Well, that is even with my failing grade, the Legacy of the Wizard gets a 70 even. Wow, passing right on the moon there. 70 even. Because 350 divided by 5 is 70. Yep. Okay. So that now we have another game going on here. I think we can get 3 more games in before the let's see if we can shoot for 3 more games. Let's see. Next one up on the next one is oh boy, The Legend of Cage.
Are you gonna be okay? Oh my god.
English.
The Legend of Cage by Taito. Yeah, Taito. April 18th, 1986. Now, this one's got the Japanese cover art on the Wikipedia one. It's a side-scrolling hack-and-slash game developed and published by Taito in 1985. In this game, the player controls the ninja Cage, with the objective being to get through 5 stages in order to save the princess Kirahim. The stages are littered with enemies. However, Cage has various skills and weapons on his hands in order to get through them. The arcade release was considered a success for Taito and exceeded sales expectations at the time of its release. It has been ported to a variety of home systems, has had sequels and spin-offs, and has been featured on various Taito compilations. This time we'll start with Gianni Pizzi with The Legend of Cage.
I thought it was. I feel like I've heard of it before as Kage, maybe.
Or
Yeah,
Kage?
Kage.
Oh,
Kage,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Remember, it's Japanese, so there you go.
Kage.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. It sounded like cocky, you know. The Legend of
Yeah, a little bit, but Kage, I think.
Cage. Yeah.
I don't know if AVGN has played this game, but I feel like I know that pronunciation because he said something about it, maybe. But I really don't know much about this game. I do like the cover art. I mean, it looks like pretty much. Oh yes, he has played this game. I'm gonna give this one. Let's see. I'll give it 83.
83. That's what you said. 83.
83.
Okay, you got it. All right. I want to make sure I got it right for you. There you go. Okay, Scott, you're up with The Legend of Cage or Cage.
Kage.
Kage. Cocky.
Yeah. Remember, I know my Japanese, so there you go.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that. Yep.
Well, as you mentioned before, this is Taito, so it's another good arcade game that they converted over to the United States here for the for the NES and all that there as well. Plays pretty darn well, similar to the arcade game. And of course, while the game is pretty interesting, there's lots of different stuff that goes along with it there. What's unique is the fact that you're actually going to the left instead of to the right at the beginning, which is kind of different. And this is one of those games that you play once you rescue the princess. Unfortunately, she gets kidnapped again, so you just keep playing over and over until you run out of lives. Just like an good old arcade game and all that there as well. Box cover. The American version, it's plain looking. It's kind of minimalistic, but still pretty not bad. I actually am liking this arcade flyer that I'm seeing on Wikipedia even better, though, because it's a lot more colorful and actually reminds me of a Laserdisc game called Ninja Hayate, though. But overall, still, this game is a fun game to play. 93.
Wow. Low A, but a very good 93. Okay. Mark Leota, you're up with The Legend of Kage. Or Kage.
That premise here Scott just described, you see the princess over and over again. Why is that reminding me of Mario for some reason?
All right. Everything is a Mario to you. Yep. You have Mario in your blood.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Jason. You're not wrong.
No, with a name like Mark and Mario, it's like Mario, and there you go.
All right. Anyway, yeah, Legend of Kai. I think I'll give this one a 90.
A 90. Okay, another A for that one. Wow. Okay, Brandon Bogard, you're up with The Legend of Kai. or Cage or Cage or
Okay, so I think the front cover looks pretty ugly. Well, I like the story. I'm also looking at the images. Well, I like one of them. There's another that's freaking me out. It's completely black. The sky is completely black. The grass is orange, reddish. The tree is really, really red. And one of the characters is spewing blood like a garden hose.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty throwing me off. I don't find this kid friendly, but I do give this a 74.
A 74. Okay. It's about a low C.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, this reminds me of the cover art reminds me of something I seen in a restaurant called Cowfish, where it was burgers and sushi. Yeah. This is very, very cartoonish. And the art in that restaurant had a lot of Japanese and a lot of, kind of themed with cows and sushi and samurais and all that stuff at Universal. If you ever been to Universal Studios there, Brandon, you know which restaurant I'm talking about. Up in where the clubs are in City Walk.
Oh man. Well, you know what? For my birthday, I think that's what I'm going to ask for, a trip to Universal.
There you go.
Oh my God.
This
Excuse me.
bless you. Sorry about that. The thing I like about the cover art is it's got a great red, yellow, and green because of the setting of the sun. That's a nice background there, and it just looks like one of those Japanese ninja movies that you would basically see in the theater. For that matter, I've never played the game, so I can't really say, but I do like the cover art, so I'm going to give it a 95. Wow. Yeah. Did I one up anyone, by the way, on that? Somebody gave it a 93, so
I 93, but you tuned up.
Tuned up. Well, that's not close enough. All right, 95. Let's get the average here. Ooh. Wow.
I think I've got all.
My goodness, folks. This is another B here. 87. Look at this. Wow. Whoa. I'm going too far down. Oh, boy. Too far down, and this goes up. It goes up into the B tier, actually. Yeah. 87. Boom. Look at that. All right. Got about 12 minutes left. I think we've got time for one more game. So let's go ahead and look at it. And then kind of get ready to go with the next 2M here. Okay. We've got another looks like another prehistoric medieval times game. This is the Legend of Prince Valiant. This is put out by Special FX Software, Ocean Software, 1992. Didn't have a month or anything on it. This one features King Features Syndicate licensed the rights to Ocean Software to make video game versions of the Legend of Prince Valiant television series for the NES and Game Boy. The NES version is a fighter action game and tells the story of Valiant's search for Camelot at the beginning of Season 1. The player controls Valiant, enabling him to walk, jump, and throw things at opponents. Typical obstacles are pit traps, water hazards, and archers embedded in the background who shoot like turrets from a stationary position. The Game Boy version is a strategy game where all fighting is done in an arcade manner rather than a typical manner of a strategy or role-playing game. Each player must either destroy all the opponent's units or capture all the castles in order to win the game and to defeat his or her opponent. Winning results in a celebration screen, while losing is the equivalent to a game over. Wow. Okay, we start this time with Scott McVeigh.
Never even heard of this game, to be honest with you. And I didn't even know there was a cartoon based on this classic comic strip.
Mm.
So that tells you something right there.
That's right.
Cover art looks pretty nice. Got all the characters. It's one that they used for a lot of different things there as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing some platforming items on there, and I can't really tell too much about it though. So I can't really say too much about this. All I can do is give you the right in the middle, 75.
75. Okay. That's C, middle C. Okay. Mark Leota, you're up with The Legend of Prince Valiant.
Which I have never heard of, just like Scott.
Yep.
Maybe some kind of medieval game or something.
Yeah, it's actually based off a comic strip of the same name that's been for many years, though.
Yeah,
as
but
well.
it's got something to do with Camelot, King Arthur.
Yeah, I've never even heard of the comic strip.
Mhm.
Well, think of it in terms of this way. There was a Bugs Bunny cartoon called Prince Varmint.
Okay.
Yosemite Sam,
Oh, and there was a crazy joke in the movie Spaceballs.
Yeah.
You don't want the princess to marry Prince Valium because he was sleeping all the time.
Nice one.
There you go. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking too. But
There you
this will
go.
almost make me go to sleep.
Nice mention of that one, Scott. You get a free city. Yep.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll give this one a 67.
Ooh, a 67. He buzzes it. Oof. Okay. First buzzer on the second or third buzzer on that one. Okay. Brandon Bogard, you're up with The Legend of Prince Valiant.
So, okay. Medieval combined with a bit of Lord of the Rings, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And gameplay images that can make it combined with a bit of Donkey Kong Country.
Ha!
Wow.
There you go.
I say that because I see on the front cover there's Gandalf,
Yep.
the man on the front cover holding the sword like this. It could be another Frodo. You never know.
it's technically Merlin, but you get the idea.
I
Yep.
don't know what he said, but yeah, I'll take it. I'll give it 83.
83. Okay. A low B, but a very respectable 83 there. Hey, Johnny, you're up with The Legend of Prince Valiant.
Yeah, so I did look up to as soon as I found out there was also a TV show, very similar to one of those like the Zelda. I think look a lot like it. I don't think I've ever seen the show, but I mean, looks kind of like the game. I do like some of the graphics I'm seeing. 82.
Okay, Brandon Bogard, he went up you on it. But an 82, that's still respectable. Okay, never played the game. The cover art's a very interesting one for me. But like I say, it's a lot going on with this one. I mean, the characters, like I say, cover arts should really be focusing on one thing. But when you got a lot of things going on, it confuses the heck out of me. I can make out each character, but then, of course, the background is very faint, and there's definitely a castle in the background, that sort of thing. I'm going to give this one a 63. I'm going to buzz it, actually. Yeah. All right. That was my take on it. Let's go ahead and average out the final score of the night here. Here we go.
I think I've got all.
Well, I'll tell you, this one actually scores in the C tier. It's an even 74. Wow.
Ooh.
There you have it. Oh, my goodness. Well, hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. That's the end of the game, folks. All right, we're going to shut them down. All right. Well, you did good tonight, and you get a week off for Easter break. That's the way it goes, you know. How many games we have left, statistician?
404 remaining.
Oh my goodness.
Today we have done 12.
That's good. We did 12 on the 27th
And
episode.
total we did 306.
Wow. Hold on a minute here. Let me get I gotta save this. NES Games 27. Save. Wow. Oh boy.
I just had lunch hours ago. What the heck?
Okay, so when we come back in 2 weeks, we're going to be looking at some pretty interesting games, including Zelda is going to be in there.
That's
Ooh, the original Zelda.
The original
Oh, that's going to be a fun one.
Lethal
Oh, yeah.
Weapon will be in there. The Lion King, Little Mermaid,
Ooh,
Little Nemo,
Yes.
Oh,
that's a good one too.
OG Man. Oh, that was an interesting game for a lot of people who had that particular one there. I'm going to go ahead and close that up. All right. Okay, here's your final clues on today's Who Am I? I think you guys probably have a good idea who I was talking about in the last 3 clues, but here are your final 3. I contributed to the Super Bowl Nipplegate scandal.
Oh, I've got it.
I know it now.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Here's your other 2. Here's your. Believe me, I know how to bring sexy back. Who am I with the initials JT? And let's go ahead and see. Okay, Mark Leota, since you think you got it, who is it?
Oh.
Wait a minute. You said you had it.
Oh, yeah, but then you said JT. That's not who I was thinking
I
of.
know.
Me too.
I know who it is.
What's your guess?
Justin Timberlake.
That's right. You
Yeah,
got it.
Oh.
Justin
Yay.
Timberlake. Brandon, did you say Justin Timberlake too?
Now that you said JT, now I am. Yeah, that's my final answer.
You got it. That's exactly right. And Brandon Martin, he said Justin Timberlake too, so he gets a ding as well. Nicely done there, Brandon Martin. Very good for good.
Hello, B. Mort.
Yep. Scott, definitely right.
Definitely was going to say. As soon as I heard Nipplegate, I'm thinking that's got to be it.
Yeah, right. And then,
I'm shocked. He did a Nipplegate? What?
well, Gianni, the only one left. Did you say Justin Timberlake too?
Well, with the initials JT, I originally thought it was Janet Jackson.
That's
but
what I was thinking originally.
That's the one that got involved with it. He got involved with.
So you were going to say
as soon as you
Janet.
said JT, I had a feeling it was Justin Timberlake.
What was your original?
Janet Jackson.
Well, Janet would have been from Indiana anyway. So yeah.
Oh, well, hey, you can't get them all right every week, but yes, Justin Timberlake is the answer. Very good. Of course, like I said, you don't get a prize for it, but hey.
I remember that one part of his Super Bowl where you had the kid with the selfie. That's it.
Right. Yes.
Hey, at the very least, we got one. We already got a prize before this. A week off.
Yes, you're all getting
Yes,
a
we
week
did.
off. So that's just, hey, man, take it good, soak it good. And like I said, we will be back next week. Now, for DMS 3000 News next week, the way we're going to be doing it is I'll be taking Monday and Tuesday, and Brandon Martin will be doing Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Mark Leota, I need you on April 10th to do the DMS if you're available.
Well, we'll see what happens. I'll get back to you.
Okay. If anybody else would like to be a co-host, I'm looking for co-hosts for DMS 3000 News on Wednesdays at 4:00. So if you feel comfortable doing the show, if you've seen the format, please let me know, because we definitely need some. Brian Snow did not show up, unfortunately, today, and I'm kind of disappointed in that, but I know he's got a busy schedule with things. So in a way, but I'm just.
Yeah, we had 2 days in a row where we had none of that.
Yeah, that was my fault on Tuesday. I overslept. So that's my fault. I take responsibility for that. But yesterday he was supposed to cover for me, or today he was supposed to cover for me, and it didn't happen. So yeah, I will, and of course our special guest tomorrow on DMS will be Eric Lima, as he is the new host of the Dugout Crew. So the Dugout Crew is coming up at 3:00, and then followed by DMS 3000 News. And I'll have that special interview with Eric Lima, congratulating on him on his new position as the permanent host of season 2 of the Dugout Crew. So,
Cool.
gentlemen, it's been fun. Thank you very much for another great show today. And I know when you come back in 2 weeks on the 10th of April, we're going to be looking at those L games. Oh boy, we're halfway through the alphabet, I think. Oh, getting there.
The M's we'll get to, which we'll get close.
Yeah, definitely. You're right about that for sure. Oh my goodness. I hope halfway through I'll feel better knowing that it'll be good.
There.
Yeah, it'll be good for that reason. Well, that's it for this edition. I want to, of course, thank Mark Leota, Brandon Bogart, Scott McVeigh, Gianni Pizzi. I'm Jason Canio. We'll see you next week for more of Wipe Those Tears. Have a great bye-bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Gary Dawson Network for more great content like this one.